Motorcycle Live 2018. I'm sat here with the biggest modern name in TT, John McGuinness. Right, John. Now, you've been on a rodeo ride, obviously, for quite some time with injuries and recovery, and it's going good, I'm pleased to say. But a fabulous return to the Classic TT last year, winning on the pattern.
Brilliant. Couldn't ask for any more. I really, really enjoyed it. I was sort of all geared up to the TT, and then my leg re-broke. I had to have a plate fitted, and probably, looking into a crystal ball, it was probably the best thing that happened. I wouldn't have been ready to do it. I would have been probably unbike fit. I took on quite a lot, but then I focused on the Classic TT, so I got to ride the pattern. Great. I got to ride the circuit again. Hit the spots, did road round it, watched my pit board climb up, good pit stop, sprayed the champagne. That feeling never goes away. It's a great feeling. I got to ride Halewood's Ducati as well. So
to be quite honest with you, TT wise, before the Classic, you still got to have a blast around, and obviously ride the Norton. You're going back there to 19 on the Norton. It's going to be a tough year, of course, because you've missed out a little bit on the guys that have been improving all the time and setting a fabulous pace. But for me, it will be so good to see you get on the podium with that silver machine.
Well, it's probably, it's a realistic result. I really do believe that we could stick that Norton on the podium, Looking how I watched the race, and there's only really Peter and Dean really lifted the bar, Connor was going probably the same speed as I was going on the Honda a couple of years ago. So, I've been working it out in my head. I've been looking at the sector times. I've been looking at this, and I've done my homework on it. I watched Peter's lap over and over again, see where he's making the time up. And he's not doing anything massively different to what we are. But he's the man to beat. But, the Norton's sweet. It's been a reliable package. Josh got the bike round at just under 132 in 2018. So, you don't get a bad bike round at that speed. So it's encouraging for me. I did that parade lap, and there was two ways of doing it. It was either go around at 60 mile an hour, waving at the crowd, or get stuck in. So I got stuck in a bit and did 121 plus on the second lap, waving at the crowd. So it was an encouraging sort of lap time. So yeah, the magic's still there. There's a little bit of magic left, but really looking forward to it. I've had a sort of under the radar back into the year. We did the Goodwood Revival, did the Stars of Darley, little meetings like that. Just been over to Macau, so yeah, just can sleep on it now over the winter period and come out of the traps fighting for next year.
You're done and dusted, signed up for Norton, of course. What's your ideal plan for 2019? Do you want to get some mileage in other places, Northwest, British Championship and stuff, before you actually get to the TT to get some mileage under your belt?
Well, that's the most important thing. I keep looking around and seeing what people are doing, and the top guys. I mean, even Peter's going to New Zealand in the winter period, so he's going to go and get hundreds of kilometres, even while we're digging ourselves out of our garden in the snow. So I'm going to Australia to do a race meeting out there in March on a classic bike, so I'll get some mileage there. But I'm going to be nibbling the ear of Stuart Garner from Norton. We're going to be sticking at Norton in the back of a transit van, and we're going to be heading to where the sun's shining somewhere in Europe and doing some laps. And they've agreed for that. I've agreed to that. And that's our only option. We have to ride. We've got to be sharp, we've got to be strong. I'm looking at a few options in British Superbike because I miss it. Yeah. I think we've got some fantastic circuits in this country, Ulm Parts and to Thruxtons, to Cadwells, to Silverstones, Knockhill, all got such iconic tracks. So I still want to ride and be sharp for the TT, but I need to kick the old Northwest organisers in the arse as well and let this Norton into the Northwest. And how, when, or what, I'm not interested in the politics. The Norton's going to drag a few hundred. It's got to drag a few thousand people to that North Coast in Ireland to watch that bike, because it's a beautiful bike. I want to ride, even if we don't get any results. Just let us ride so we can be sharp for the TT.
It's funny because the modern way seems to be for everybody to do as much mileage as they possibly can, to keep themselves razor sharp. But what about that man Bruce Anstey? He sleeps all winter, sleeps all the way until the road racing season starts at Northwest. Boom, gets up. I know the poor fella's still ill at the moment, but just if everything's right, he's breathtakingly fast.
What can you say about Bruce? I mean, there's not enough we can say about him. When I did my first TT in '96, Bruce was a newcomer with me, along with David Jeffries and stuff. So, between us, we've done all right. But I have to say, for me, he must be one of the most naturally gifted riders in the world. You know, he's just, you know, it's even a pain in the backside for him to go and get his license to do a couple of race meetings to do it. And he's wobbling around at the back of the grid, you know, at the back of the field, and you think, and then all of a sudden it's, you know, it just comes out of the woodwork, and yeah, he's just unbelievable. And I've ridden wheel to wheel with him as well. You know, not elbow to elbow, but not really close. But you can just, he's so, you know, respectful, fast, and been around the game a long time. And I don't know how he does it, but he does do it. And yeah, that's just fingers crossed, you know, for Bruce, for him, a full recovery, and then, you know, we'll see him back on the RCV, I'm sure. At the
Get him
TT.
back as soon as possible. Right, well, best luck with 2019. Hopefully we'll see that silver machine on the podium. Good luck, mate.
Cheers.